Welcome to the Real Estate Show on KMED this Thanksgiving weekend. Pete Belcastro with you here today. You know, we get together with you once a week here on KMED, as both Joe and I are brokers with John L. Scott in Southern Oregon, and we get together to talk about all sorts of real estate-related issues, and we never run out of topics. It's really interesting. The real estate market around us has had a pretty darn good 2015. I will tell you that, as we're going to hear more about that today from our guests who've joined us from the home builders in the round of Jackson County. Brad Bennington is the CEO of the Home Builders Association. Always a pleasure to see you. Happy Thanksgiving to you and all that.
Howdy, howdy.
You've really been on a ride, haven't you? This has been a big year for you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. You like to put your foot down on the throttle and go. We're in the right business this year.
Yeah, well, you really have. I mean, when you think about where we were a few years ago, 2015 is turned out to be what, in your opinion, for home building here?
Yeah. Well, it's for those of us that remember what 2010, 11, and 12 looked like, and then to see where we are today, that you're kind of tempted to use words like miracle, amazing, but yeah. The market really has turned around, and you've got a couple of guys here in the studio today that have some firsthand scoop type knowledge on that. Yeah, you betcha.
Clayson Whitney is the owner and a real estate broker from Coldwell Banker in Medford, and SOU grad. We always talk about SOU people when we come in because we're always that. Clayson, nice to have you on the show.
Pete, thanks for having us.
You've been involved in real estate a long time, haven't you?
Yeah, I got my license in 1998.
98.
Yeah.
And
been a couple days ago.
and you survive. Everybody who survived the Great Recession is always you have a good business going for you if you survive. That's for sure.
Yep. Started when it was normal, and then got good, and here we are.
Here we are again. Now, home building for you. You're involved in home building in different ways. Now, tell us how you're involved with this.
Well, right now I'm representing Sam up there at Innsbrook Ridge subdivision, and it's a fully gated subdivision, 3 gates, one of Medford's newest and finest.
Yeah. And when you say you represent that, tell people what that means.
I am the select listing agent, and so we have 3 of us, Brittany, Whitney, and Joanna Dance, that help Sam up there, and we kick them around, and they kick us around, and we're having a good time.
With that, let's get Sam Sarich to come in with us here on the show. Sam is a builder here, and you say Innsbrook Ridge?
Innsbrook Ridge
is where you're hanging your hat these days. But you got here, you've been in the Valley how long? Tell us about how you got here, Sam.
Well, 28 years as a home builder.
Wow, 28.
My father was a builder before that, so it's in my blood. My 2 brothers were builders in California, and I've been here for 3 years building.
So you came down here from the Portland area,
Portland
correct?
area. That's where I got my baptismal fire.
And what has it been like building homes here as compared to maybe where you were? Is this a good place to do that?
It is a wonderful place to do it.
Really?
The building permit process is so easy. The people to work with at City of Medford are amazing compared to Portland.
Isn't that nice to hear?
I'm speechless on that, because usually you don't hear that. So it hasn't been a problem or anything.
Whoever complains, have them go to Portland and see what it's like, and they would really appreciate Medford because it is amazing here.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's good. It's good to see. Now, tell us about certainly Innsbrook Ridge. Let's talk about that for a minute, because I know it's in East Medford, and we know that that's where Brad, most of the new construction is happening. Is in East Medford. I mean, that's certainly the stats show that.
Yeah, well, and of course, this is where I do a retro plug on our Southern Oregon tour homes that we just did in October. The tour homes really was to raise community awareness of the home building industry. And Sam had just a couple of real showstopper homes that he built there. We had many beautiful homes on the tour, but we didn't really have anything that was like what Sam was doing up there. Really brought a new vibe and a new kind of architecture. And he'll probably talk about that a little bit. But we just had such a response. You never would have guessed that there were thousands and thousands and thousands of people that wanted to go and look at these houses. Mm-hmm. I think at one point we in several of the houses we had over 100 people an hour coming into these houses and just wanting to see them and learn about them and learn about the architecture and the products and the builder and so on and so forth. And of course, it is in East Medford because East Medford has just kind of, it's that more virgin area where there's more opportunity. Plus, there are just these amazing views. You get up there on the hill like where Innsbruck Ridge is, and those views looking out over the valley are just amazing. People love it.
Now you go back to the tour of homes that the home builders did in October. You had it over 2 weeks.
Yes, we did that.
And you had that many people. You had that many people coming through. You're pretty happy with that, aren't you?
Oh boy, howdy, are we happy? You bet. You know, we love serving the community. We love getting these products out there in front of the people, and our community needs housing. The numbers that we've seen, we're not going to mention what the exact numbers are, but they're big. We have an area where people want to come here and live here and buy houses here, and great builders to build those houses. So we've, moving forward, now that we're coming out of this economic difficulty that we've been in the last few years, we're really starting to pick up altitude and airspeed.
But we're going to see that continuing. Clayson, Whitney, what is it like right now? Home building out there? Is there a lot going on? I mean, we got the Innsbruck Ridge here, but what else is out there? Is there a lot going on, or where is it at, and what's being built right now?
There is. There's some good subdivisions out there. In Innsbruck Ridge, talking about what Brad just said, first weekend we had 683 people through. The second weekend,
600.
We did. The second weekend, we had 570 people through. So comments there, they just did an outstanding job putting this thing together. So
that's
a lot of fun.
That's one house.
That's one house.
That was our Innsbruck Ridge home up there. Yes.
I mean, when a realtor has an open house, if you get 10 people through, you're pretty
it's
happy,
incredible.
aren't you?
We had a full staff, and the builders were great, and they were up there as well. But going back to your question, it's been great. In the last 5 years, we've had an increase on new construction. Our median price is increased about 49% over the last 5 years. So if that goes to tell you kind of how nice this community is and what everybody has to offer.
Mm-hmm. What do we have out there right now? Is there still lots available? I mean, remember we were going through Brad, people were buying up lots pretty cheaply for a while, but there wasn't any building going on with them. We heard of, how many planned subdivisions were foreclosed on. I know Polish Homes is an example that took one of those or several of those in foreclosure out.
I've got a real easy, accurate four-word answer for you. Here it is.
Okay.
Cheap lots are gone. there it is.
Not there.
That's true.
It is.
Yeah.
All those cheap bargain basement lots that were around, they're gone. They're gone.
All right, give me an example of what we might find for lots. I mean, just around it.
Well, there's a lot of the builders have a lot of the good land right now, but up in Vista Point, there's some good lots, and then there's a lot of spot lots, and you got a lot of stuff's not even on the market. So if you get the maps, you find out where the zoning is, where it's been annexed in, and you can find some stuff, write some letters. There's other stuff around. You got to get a little bit creative, but there's not a ton out there, but there still is quite a bit if somebody wanted to do something. Shoot, we have, about 54 lots left to have Sam build you a custom home up there.
Up in Innsbruck Ridge, you're talking about a 60 lot subdivision. And is that all, Sam, wired? I mean, all the systems are in, all the systems development is all in at these places?
Yes.
You put all that in?
It's all complete. December 31st of last year, it was finished, the streets and curbs. And we started building in March of 2015.
So now, when you got a hold of this, do you own the subdivision? Correct.
I work with a developer.
Okay, you work with someone, but you have the lots. You're selling the lots now. All right.
We sell a package. We don't just sell a lot by itself.
Okay, tell me how that works. I mean, I'm curious as to. I hear that a lot. That you're really buying kind of a build package, right? Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
What we're going to do, Pete, is you're going to come on up there, and you and I are going to go look around, and we're going to find the perfect lot for you. We're going to bring in Sam, who is one of the best on the planet, and he's going to come on up there, and we're going to try to develop a custom plan tailored just to your likings.
Okay. All right. And tell me what some of these are going for. What have you sold? What have you got up there?
Just last week, lot 58.
Yes.
Lot 58.
They said, we love what you're doing, and we see your product, because I've got 3 that are finished that are models. Mm-hmm. And they said, design me a house. So it took me and my designer, took us about 3 days. We started doing a bunch of sketches. And we present it to this couple, and they go, oh, we love it. They go, keep going. Then she goes, I trust you from what you've done on these first 3. Keep going. Whatever you do, we're going to love it. Keep going, Sam.
Isn't that
So
great?
in another week, we'll be done designing.
Sam, you better hang on to those people, because those are really good clients to have.
That was last
They love
week.
what you do.
That was $900,000 for 3,400 feet.
Now, is that a lot? I mean, I when you get up into this stratosphere of pricing, the way you are sometimes, for those of us who are not used to those kind of things.
Well, wait a minute.
Tell me what that
Pete,
is. What? Okay, what?
Wait a minute. You're not that young.
No, I know that.
So all you got to do is rewind back to 2005 and 2006, when within 2 miles of where Innsbruck Ridge is,
Okay.
there were homes selling for $3 to $5 million back in 2005. So you and I can remember that far
Okay,
back.
yeah, okay.
So these and you kind of need to go and see what they're building up there. For somewhere close to $1 million, but $1 million depending on what neighborhood you're moving from. Maybe it is and maybe it isn't. If you're from a working class neighborhood here in Medford, yeah, it's kind of a stretch. But if you're moving here from, where a lot of our friends are moving from down in California, $1 million property is very, very common for them.
Is that the type of is this the clients who are buying up there? Is it out of people moving here, retirees? Is that what you're seeing? Is it? Tell me what it is.
A little bit of both. I mean, we're getting some doctors up there who, because the proximity is really close to the hospital, so they like that. They like the gated community. It's a intimate feel in there. There's 3 ways in, 3 ways out. So we're getting some doctors, and yes, we're getting some people from California that are starting to give us some phone calls and things. Again, you got to remember that we're just kicking this off. So we've got 2 that are done, 1 that's almost done, and then we have 3 pre-solds up there.
And we don't start at $900,000; they start at $650,000.
So you have a variety of prices out of the deal.
And I am not a track home builder. I am custom all the way. I've done that since I started building. That's how I survived the bad times. I was doing customs. So when the market crashed, I was fine because I was doing custom homes. So that's kind of my passion. And I love to build. I love to deal with people. And Clancy can tell you that story.
He's really good at dealing with people. Because, I mean, if you think about it, pre-solds are a lot of extra time and energy. And the way he does it is outstanding. So he does a great job.
And how big are these places that you're building up there? I mean, tell me a little bit about the housing.
Well, we're working on a 2,300 square foot plan. We have about a 2,400 square foot plan. We're just putting in for a 3,026 square foot single level plan, and then we have 3 that are just shy of 4,000 square feet, and then 1 that's 3,509 square feet.
I'm gonna jump in and just say one of the nice things about the way they're doing this is they have a lot of flexibility for the buyers, because these lots are really generous sized lots. I'm not sure you can really describe it adequately in words. You kind of have to go up there and look at it. But these are really nice sized lots, and the views, the way that these lots are laid out is just really amazing. So you don't have to build a big house to enjoy the lot. I mean, you can if you want to. It's available if you want to, but some people want a smaller house. That works too. So it's really flexible what they can do. And again, the other thing is that Sam he's a custom builder. He's a higher end custom builder. But we have in the market, we've got production builders. We've got builders that can build lower price point homes than that. And we realize that most people that live in our market, they don't get to live in a Sam Sarich home. Sam,
absolutely,
yeah. But Sam is just the reason I wanted Sam to come here today is to be able to talk to you and tell your listeners, that this product is a bit, because you really need, if you haven't seen a Sam Sarich home, you really need to. You really need to go check one out, have him take you through the home and show you the kind of detail and the kind of interesting things that he's doing that we just really haven't seen here before.
I'm going to have you do that with me. I'd like to listen to you to see some of these, because I've not been up there.
And the advantage of being the only builder in the subdivision, I can dictate the quality and the style of the whole subdivision. So what I got going so far, my model is I've got a Northwest Contemporary that's done, and I brought modern with old rustic beams. So to mesh those 2 worlds together, it just took everything I had.
Incredible.
And the product is unbelievable. That's why during the tour of homes, we had lines of people to see this house. It has been done here in Medford. So when I decided to do it, I was a little nervous. Does Medford want this? Luckily, I was right, because it's dynamite. And so that's the first one. In my second one, I've got a Craftsman taken to the nth tier of quality of where Craftsman should be brought. And it's just got moldings and balusters and pickets and crown molds, kind of like an inspiration from an arts and crafts or a gamble and gamble house from the L.A. area. So you got that style, which is, craftsman. Then I've got a lodge, which will be done in about 30 days. It's a real lodge-style house. It's on the highest tier. It's almost 3,900 feet. And we've got, again, old salvage beams with mortise and tenon connections, no mechanical fasteners at all, and there are trusses inside the house. It's just amazing.
You get real excited about this.
Oh,
I can
love
tell when
this.
you
It's just fun.
when you get the customness of what you're doing.
When I build a house for a customer, I'm a theme builder. People say, "What kind of house you want?" And I'll say, "Well," I'll ask them, "You want craftsman? You want lodge?" And they go, "Well, I don't know." So I'll just keep drilling them and find a direction where I can take their dreams.
Well, we've got a break coming up here. I want to ask you when we come back there, where are you finding the craftsmen, the skilled workers to do this? Because Brad has been complaining,
Don't
for
ask that.
months, years. There's nobody here to do any of the work.
We have Brad up there on the weekends.
I'll bet he's one heck of a skilled worker. We got a break coming up here. We're coming right back. The Real Estate Show. We're talking about home building in Jackson County. Real Estate Show rolls on KMED this Thanksgiving weekend of 2015. Pete Belcastro with you. And hope you're having a good Thanksgiving weekend as we just hope you're staying warm and all that good stuff. As we're in the middle of winter, it seems like, around. There's a lot going on in Jackson County in the real estate market, especially in new construction, as we're learning today with our guests. And going to continue on that theme here with Brad Bennington, the CEO of the Home Builders Association of Jackson County, Clayson Whitney, the owner of Coldwell Banker, a real estate broker here in the Valley, and Sam Sarich of Sam Sarich Construction. He's been talking about giving us insight on the Innsbrook Ridge subdivision. I guess you still call them subdivisions, even though it's kind of a weird name, I think, anymore. But anyway, Innsbrook Ridge, which I would certainly say that you got to go back, you got to go up and see some of these homes up there before the gates go up. Then you can't go in there anymore, which is a whole other topic out of this thing. Anyway, tell me a little bit about what's going on in skilled labor. You're talking, Sam, you've come down from Portland. I mean, I know that the markets are obviously a lot different. What have you found? Because Brad says we're really difficult to find skilled labor to help people like you.
Well, I'd say about every house that we build, we probably employ 250 people. So we're a big part of this community building houses.
Really?
Yes. As things get busier, which it has in the last year, there is a shortage of good quality people. And where are they going? Where have they gone? They left the industry during the crash in 08, 09. A lot of them haven't come back. And so now, like in high schools, you have no shop classes.
Right.
So no one knows how to work with wood anymore, or they want to work with their computer. So it's not a really hip thing to do anymore is go build a house or be a carpenter or a plumber, even though that's where some real money is for these younger kids. So I don't know what's going to happen long term.
How would you find that many people to work on your houses? Do you find them? I mean, are they out there? Or how do you do that?
He steals them.
Wait. I mean, I would think this would be a hard thing to do.
It is hard. But for 28 years building, you know how people talk and you kind of judge character pretty well.
Okay.
And then you seek out the best in the town. And everything I have, all my subs are all local, unlike some other competition.
I like that.
Yeah, everything's local.
Yeah, and you're doing obviously a pretty good job. Clayson Whitney, what else is out there? Are there a lot of? I mean, we got Innsbrook Ridge here. What else is out there that listeners you may think about or something if they're interested in these kinds of things and drive around and look at them? Where are some of the other developments going right now?
We have the Bella Vista, Polish Homes, great subdivision, 107 total lots. They're getting ready to start another 9 here soon, and there's a couple others left over.
Now, go back to Polish for just a second, because they were with us, I know, when they started their project up there, and they had, an open house not very long, well, maybe a year or so ago when they had the first homes done. Are they still building there? They sold those, or what is their status?
Yes, it all of a sudden caught fire, and they're doing very well up there right now. So
that's good to hear.
Yeah, there's still a bunch of lots to go up there and choose from, but like I said, they're getting ready to start nine more here real soon.
And when you say they start 9 more, is that spec homes or
those
are they already
all spec? Those are all spec.
Homes?
Yes, they do. They do mostly spec homes. They're great at what they do, and they stick with their honey hole of what they know what to do, and that's kind of what they're doing. I know there's been one spec up there, but otherwise they pretty much have it down pat.
Well, they're obviously pretty good at it. Brad, you think so?
Yeah, well, you know what I was going to say. The rumor is they've got a really effective realtor that works for them, and kind of a tall blonde gal, and just works really hard. And her name is
Chrissy.
Oh yeah, that's right, Christy. And yeah, same last name as you, I think. Yeah.
No.
What
Chrissy
are,
McLaughlin.
McLaughlin. That's right.
What
Christy
are-
McLaughlin's
okay. And what are-
Shane's
right.
wife. Yeah.
Yeah.
And what are the prices in the polished homes in the subdivisions that they're in? What's their range go from?
Low end is low threes, and then upper. I mean, they're going to get up over $1 million too on some of those upper lots.
They will in that particular area.
We just closed a couple that were in the upper fives here recently on that lower tier.
Okay. Wow.
And then one just under 6 on one of those top tier. So great homes, great construction.
Listen to what he's saying, Brad. I mean,
Yeah.
look all the transactions going on for this new construction.
Right. Well, Pete, you see it, and you and I talked about this, but, this is one of the last really supply and demand driven markets, and it's a very pure supply and demand driven market. We know that people want to come to Southern Oregon and live here. The good news is we still have plenty of buildable land, but we don't have a lot of buildable lots, and we don't have a lot of inventory, right now. As a realtor, you've seen our sellable inventory shrink and shrink and shrink over the last 36 months.
Yeah.
And our what's our available inventory? I mean, our inventory is down to
in housing is 2.4 months
Yeah, that's what I'm
supply
saying.
overall.
Yeah.
So
We're
that's
just over 1,000 units on.
I mean,
down 17%.
that's not very many.
Yeah, that's not very much. So when people come and if they want to buy something nice, if they want to buy something comparable to what they perhaps were already in, they've got to go talk to these people, and if they're lucky enough, they can find something that they can just buy and move into. But most of these people are going to want to build something.
What's going on in Southeast Medford? The big Southeast Medford plan was going to be 10,000 homes, and I know they've started a lot of that. Clayson, what's going on over there?
Well, Summerfield is lights out. They're doing a great job in there too, and that's Mahar Homes and Mahar Home Brothers.
Okay,
and they're doing a great job.
Yep.
They're building a quality home, and people like that subdivision, and it's a great location. If you go further down North Phoenix, there you have the Stonegate subdivision, and so you have Pack Trend is in there, and they're doing a great job in the the low to mid threes, and getting ready to open up about another, I think, just under 30 more lots. And so the builders are going to be going in there, and they're selling right before they're up. Yeah.
Well, how much that has changed then? I mean, I think that these are all good signs and good indications that our market has really come back and it's pretty robust.
We just need more builders building.
I'm just curious as to both of you, are we pricing ourselves in new construction out for a lot of people? I mean, is there still areas or still new construction in the 2 to 250 range maybe, or below 300 that's out there or is it all going to be into this, what I'm hearing you guys say, I mean, you're building $1 million homes and 600. I mean, there's a lot of high-end properties.
We needed that though. We had a hole in the market, honestly, for East Medford. And where were you going to go? So we had that hole there, and these guys are all filling those gaps.
Okay.
Going back to your question, you have the Candlewood over there in Northwest Medford, and they're all in those lower to mid twos, and so they're doing a nice job over there. And then they have another subdivision off of Spring Street. And they have some miscellaneous subdivisions off of Thomas and Orchard Home and Southwest Medford that are nice homes as well. So there is some, and you just gotta search around.
Are they selling as robust as the higher end homes? Some of those, do you know?
Oh yeah. That price range, anything under 300,000 in the valley right now is if it's nice and it's priced competitively, it's going to be gone.
No, that's really true.
That's one of the nice things about our valley is that we really have a nice diverse market for people to buy into. We just don't have a lot of product on the market right now. But we've got Sam, doing what we'd call hyper custom or very high end custom. We've got Mike Paganini, who is kind of a boutique designer builder that people go to. And then we've got companies like Mahar Homes, Mahar Brothers, Pack Trend that build really, really nice, and they can give the consumer a choice of things that they want to have. We've got Hayden Homes, we've got W.L. Moore. One of the nice things, from my perspective, is when you look at all these different companies, they're all building homes. One thing that they all have in common is that they're all members. They're all members of the
association.
They're all members of the Home Builders Association. And what that means is that they all realize that in this industry we all have to kind of hang together. We're one of the most regulated industries that there is, and if we don't have some commonality where we can come together and have useful discussions with our regulators and our friends in government, then we can't really deliver as much value to the public as we'd like to.
Mm-hmm. And you see this continuing for some time now, don't you guys? I mean, I get the feel. Well, Lennox Scott, who the owner of John L. Scott, was down, a few months ago, and he gave his prediction this market is going to continue for years here. There was maybe little blips, but that the housing shortage was so acute back then, and we're still not getting back to it, and we're still not there. Thus, we're seeing higher prices, supply and demand, all that kind of thing, isn't it, going on around us?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, Oregon's one of the most moved to states in the nation. So people are coming in, and it's just a great place to live. I mean, shoot, you're here, Pete.
Well, like you and I, Clayson, and Brad have been here a long time.
Yes.
Sam's the new guy in the block for 3 years here, but you're right. I mean, people do want to come here. I'm just, it's one of those things. What are they going to do when they get here? I mean, we talk about jobs and we talk about the economy, and doesn't seem to be out there much, but yet people are still coming, they're still buying, and that's probably a good thing for
it's a happy
overall
thought.
for housing.
It's a
that's
happy
for sure.
thought.
Hey, the Real Estate Show. We're talking home building today with Brad Bennington, Clayson Whitney, and Sam Sarich. We're coming right back. Final segment here on KMED right after this. Real Estate Show rolls on KMED this Thanksgiving weekend. Pete Belcastro with you. Hope you're having a terrific holiday. Next week, we'll be talking about property management with Danielle Roberts. Danielle from Sterling West Property Management, and give you an update on the rental side of things in Jackson County, which is about as insane as everything else is. I mean, we have a seller's market in real estate, right, Clayson? It's a seller's market. This inventory's low.
The inventory's low.
And so we're seeing that supply and demand thing go.
Yep.
And this is an industry that really is supply and demand.
It is.
No question about that. I get it, goes all the time that way.
That's why I just keep kicking Sam around to get us some more homes up there.
Where was Sam Sarich from? He's developing Innsbrook Ridge in East Medford, and has got some sold. He's still building some custom homes. Do you have not had a problem dealing with the city of Medford in your developments, have you?
They've been wonderful. Just easy to deal with.
How much does it? I'm just curious. We always talk about systems development and fees and all sorts of things that go with new construction. I'm curious as to what something like that would be. A permit.
A permit to build a house is $18,000.
Just the permit.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money. And is that high compared to other places, or tell me what that is?
In other places, I do remember Portland at one time in my life, they're about $28,000 to $30,000 for a permit to build a house.
Just for the permit to build a house. That's
See why I love Medford?
Well, I can see it's a big difference here. Our housing costs are a little bit low. Well, we'll see what's happening with that. Do you guys, both of you continue to see this, the new construction market over the winter into 2016? Tell me what you're thinking about there.
Well, you got these interest rates that people need to jump on them because they're not going to be around forever. And honestly, we're really blessed. And when it goes up to 4.25%, and I hear people kind of balk at it, it's like, you guys just don't quite understand how good you really have it, and so they really need to jump on it if they're in the market and get going.
Interest rates stay low like this, you're going to have people going to go buy his houses, right?
Absolutely.
Yes. And if those interest rates start going way, way up, then you're going to see a whole different change in the market, won't we?
Yeah, he might not be as happy with me at that
point. Might not be as happy. Well, it's good to hear that you're all busy and doing those things, and that we're taking care of a need here, because, as we said, we didn't have any for a long time, and so we're seeing a pretty robust new construction market going on. So we wish you well there. Brad, you've got some. I know you've got the big events coming up. I just want to tell people. I know the One Home Show is scheduled for February this year. So tell us about that a little bit.
Yeah. No, Pete, we want to say thank you to you and Joe for all the work that you guys do. You guys are very community minded and oriented. I want to thank you for all the. You guys don't get paid enough for what you do. I'm not gonna pay you anymore, but I will say thank you. We at the Home Builders, we've had a great year. Our charity golf tournament raised $10,000 for Redemption Ridge.
Yeah.
We just got through with donating 70 complete Thanksgiving dinners to Kids Unlimited yesterday.
Wow.
We're donating a 1981 pretty much pristine original Corvette to Festival of Trees, which is going to be auctioned here next week. I think right after Thanksgiving. And our tour homes was a huge success. So our home show that's coming up February 19th, 20th, 21st, it's the only home show. It's the one and only Southern Oregon home show. We had 0 vendor booths available last year, so we made the show bigger this year so that we can get more people in it.
Wow.
But the community loves it. It's where people can go and they can see anything and everything that has anything to do with your home. There it is, all in one place. Doors, windows, cabinets, accessories, appliances, you name it, it's there, and lots of it.
And people who want booths there need to get a hold of you right now to reserve them, right? Because they're going to be gone.
Yeah. It fills up crazy fast.
Yeah.
So any one of your listeners, if you're interested, give us a call, and we'll fix you right up.
HBAJC.com. You can also get the information on their website. Okay, what else you got?
And talking about things that are time relevant. It's hard to believe, but our organization was incorporated in 1965, which means we are 50 years old. And I personally remember 1965. It doesn't seem like it was that long ago.
I know.
To me, but it's geez. But yeah, we're 50 years old, but unfortunately, all good things have to come to an end. And the Home Builders Association of Jackson County is not going to be around anymore after 2016, because we are going to be doing business as Southern Oregon Builders Association. There's a need for representation across the building industry and across the building community. We've been doing a lot of that work. We've been reaching well beyond just home builders, and so the board made the decision: let's make our services available across a broader base, and let's adopt a name that tells that story. So, 2016, this is going to be the year that we begin doing business as the Southern Oregon Builders Association, and really embracing, a broader range of services to both the public and to our professional partners.
Well, you got a lot going on, so it seems to make sense to do that.
We do.
Did you ever sell your house, by the way, that you built? In Eagle Point, I think you'd be building that house.
It's in escrow right now, and will close shortly.
Wow! So you've really you've had a heck of a year, haven't you?
Boy, howdy!
Wow.
Yeah, we've been rocking and rolling.
Wow! Well, that's really good to know. Clayson Whitney, things going to continue this way for you. How can someone get a hold of you and some of the projects that you're working on? And you're specifically representing some folks, so tell people about that.
Caldwell Banker, you can get a hold of me there. So pretty easy, just ask for Clayson Whitney, and we're always up there. Saturday, Sunday, somebody on our team is up there from noon to 3 every Saturday and Sunday.
Up at Innsbrook Ridge, about that.
Above Vista Point. So you can come see us up there as well.
It certainly sounds that that's going to be a heck of a project.
It's a lot
you
of
guys,
fun.
and a good project.
Yeah,
I think more than anything, and it's certainly filling a need. Sam Sarich gets the last word today. How can someone get a hold of you? Because you're like the builder, the designer. You're like the whole toot and caboodle together.
It is the show now.
Oh my gosh! Thanks for having me. Just get a hold of InnsbrookRidge.com and get a hold of Clayson or ask for me, and let me design you a house. Let's build you a custom house at Innsbrook Ridge.
And you got room to do it, and you got space to do it.
Great lots.
And you're busy, and you're going to fill that thing up probably in the next few years. It sounds like.
You bet.
Well, there's a need here, Brad. I think more than anything else we've heard is that there is certainly the need for new construction in all sorts of ranges, price ranges.
Yes,
that's the fair way to say
Absolutely.
it. And multi-units, the same thing. Duplexes,
Those
still.
are
We
tough.
need stuff.
Good luck trying to find one of those.
You can't.
Yeah.
And yet people want those. Will you build? Can people build duplexes? Are they still out there? Does that?
Yeah,
still
they're
happen?
out there. You just got to, again, like I said, get creative. When you find some of those old homes that are on those MFR 20 lots, scrap them and start over.
Yeah, and it's a good way to go.
The thing is that we really need to get people off the fence. If anyone is on the fence, wondering whether they ought to buy a new home, the answer is yes.
Yeah.
Go quickly now. Move.
There's great advantages to new construction versus buying a house.
Yes.
That's, regular house for sure. That's for sure. And we're certainly seeing that coming back. So the market is showing that it's improving. Thank you all for being here as new home construction continues on at a pretty good pace. And 2016 is going to be even a better year for you guys. I'll tell you that already. That'll do it for the Real Estate Show this weekend here on KMED. For Pete and Joe, have a great week, everybody, and God
bless.
bless.
The Real Estate Show on KMED AM and FM radio, presented by John L. Scott Real Estate of Southern Oregon, along with All Cities Property Management, the Home Builders Association of Jackson County, Ditech Mortgage, the Jackson Soil and Water Conservation Conservation District and the Rogue Valley Association of Realtors. For guest information or to watch a past show, visit us online at realestateshoworegon.com. Join us again next weekend for Southern Oregon's one and only real estate show on KMED.